Talk about cutting it close.
Not really.
Come on, tell me you weren't scared. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have had a chance.
Well, maybe you're right. Thanks, Knuckles. You too, Tails.
Froggy!
Chaos data has been copied.
I'm so glad for you, Cheese. Hey, isn't that Mr. Sonic over there?
Later, guys. I'm out of here.
Hey, wait up, Sonic! Get back here!
Guess he was a fake after all.
What do you mean, after all?
We're here to save you. Dr. Eggman, I presume.
What's going on?
What's up?
You knew it was me all along, didn't you?
It's all part of being a good detective.
Were we fooled that easily?
You're rotten!
Hey, hold on, you guys. It's no trick, and besides, I plan on paying you. You'll be rewarded handsomely for helping me. As soon as I conquer the world, I will pay you.
Some nerve promising what you ain't got.
We've been had. Just wait a minute. Just listen to me.
Take this, you bad man!
Eggman target completely destroyed.
Now let's find that secret treasure.
Prepare to destroy immediate area.
Hey, Omega, did I ever tell you that Shadow is a robot and... Oh, never mind. Good luck.
You know about cloning. The original must exist somewhere.
All this for what? Nothing? I might as well go look for that Master Emerald, since that irritating echidna is here.
Some things never change.
What are you saying? What else is that famous predator supposed to do?
Then who was it? Who locked you up here for trying to conquer the world?
It was...
All living things kneel before your master!
Sonic is finally transformed!
So that's Metal Sonic?
It's useless! Metal Sonic has combined your data with the power of chaos and is super strong! We can't defeat it! Ah! If only we had the 7 Chaos Emeralds! this, but how? Even with the Emerald's power, our chances for victory are slim. It would take a miracle.
Just leave that to me, Doc.
Sonic, no! I'm going with you too!
Tails.
You can count me in, too.
Knuckles.
Okay, guys. We'll buy you some time. That way you can use your superpowers.
Okay then, let's get ready to do this. We'll show that creep the real superpower of teamwork!
You're the one pretending to be Sonic! You're the one responsible for taking Froggy and Cola! I can't believe you would do such a thing!
You're going to...
I'll tear you to pieces! Burn to death!
We're done! You guys ready?
It's too late!
Transformation isn't quite complete yet.
Incomplete! Freak!
Now's the time to strike!
Here we go!
You're all useless now that I've gotten all your data!
Let's go, we go! Run! Run!
I'll take the lead!
Let's go, here we go! Run! Run!
I'll take
Let's go!
Consuming power of others at your own will. And that's supposed to make you tough?
New target acquisition. Cyclone to death. Annihilator, fire! Annihilation.
I can get from here!
Get away!
I'll take it from here.
I can get from here!
Annihilation.
I'll take it from here.
I can get from here!
Annihilate.
he comes! You all ready?
Of course!
We're with you until the end.
You actually thought you could defeat me by transforming into a monster?
Got it!
Leave it to me! Dave! 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 Dave!
Here we go!
Got it!
Already?
Leave it to me!
Shit!
Leave it to me! Dave! Dave! Dave!
Here we go!
Got it!
Leave it to me!
Man!
Is he invincible?
It's not over yet! Let's show him what we're made of!
Got it!
Already?
Why? I had it all! I am the ultimate overlord, Metal Sonic! I am the real Sonic!
Yeah! We did it!
Phew, that was pretty tough.
Too bad it's all over! For you!
It's no use. But why can't I defeat you?
Because we're Sonic heroes!
Sonic!
Anytime you want a rematch, just let me know. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Sonic, wait up! Sorry to leave like this, but I can't let my Sonic get away! Good luck,
Sonic sure has his hands full.
I guess I'm out of here too. I think I'll go hunt for someone else's tree.
She never gives up, does she? Oh, no, you don't. Wait!
Guess that's it for this case.
Guess so.
But what about our money?
Man, I almost forgot! That slime ball!
All right! Our next adventure awaits us, so there's no time to waste. Yeah! We're Sonic heroes!
What goes up must come down. Yeah, my feet don't touch the ground. You see the world spinning upside down. A mighty crash without a sound. I can feel your every rage. Step aside, I'll turn the page. Breaking through your crazy maze. Like a laser beam, my eyes on you. Watch me rule the night away. Watch me save the day. Feel my storm is getting close. Heading your way. Sonic heroes. Sonic heroes. too late.